My fellow Jamaicans, this question is for you. Can the USA's Noah Lyles repeat his triple win at this year's Tokyo World Championships 2025? Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. You drop a video at least once in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, are you ready? Yep, good to go. Well, in his first 100 meters, I think, after a long break for the 2025 season, Noah Lyles met the force of Jamaica's Oblique Seville at the London Diamond League when he was trounced by the young Jamaican. Oblique Seville ran 9.86 ahead of Noah Lyles' second place 10 seconds flat and beat him by a clear meter and a half.
Set. Away they go. Great start from Seville, who's got a little bit of a march on Noah Lyles. Lyles has got some work to do. Seville is going really well here. Seville's going to win this. Brilliant rim. He even has time to salute. 9.85. Wow.
This was the third time Oblique Seville had beaten Noah Lyles in less than 12 months. First, he beat him at the Racers Grand Prix. Beat him also by a meter, clear meter in that race. And then, of course, Oblique Seville was injured later on. And in the semi-finals at the Paris Olympic Games, Seville also beat him, but in the finals, unfortunately, was injured. Which says to me that Oblique Seville easily knows how to beat Noah Lyles at this point, and all he needs to be is healthy. This is in the men's 100 meters. Then, of course, there is Kishane Thompson, who he beat literally by a hair's length at the Paris Olympic Games over 100 meters. In fact, Lyles had to set a PB in the men's 100 meters to beat Kishane Thompson and admitted after their exciting 100 meter final that, he was very impressed by Kishane Thompson. Take a listen.
Was this the toughest yet?
This was the toughest race I've ever had, besides probably Tokyo in the 200, but this was by far. That man got a lot of talent, and I'm excited to see how many races we got to go back-to-back in.
And of course, you know, if you're a regular here, that I still think the only reason Kishane Thompson lost that race was lack of experience and that godforsaken 5-minute hold at the beginning of the race. In other words, Noah Lyles beat him simply by sheer experience. I don't think he'll be able to do that a second time.
A great experience. I love it. I enjoy it, every moment of it. And I'm just going to build on it and just move forward.
When you say you should have been more patient with yourself, explain that for the viewers, the casual viewers who don't know what that means.
In terms of my execution, it felt as if I wasn't patient for the line. I did not trust myself. I didn't trust myself and my speed enough.
So over the 100 meters, there are at least two men, both Jamaicans, who look to me as if they could beat Noah Lyles, and decisively so.
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
But I'm not the only person who has this thought. Take a listen to Justin Gatlin's very, very exciting podcast, which features his co-host Rodney Green, and take a look at their thoughts as to whether or not Noah Lyles will be able to do the three-peat this year at the Tokyo 2025 Olympic Games, meaning winning the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and the 4x100 meters gold. Take a listen.
Will Noah repeat? Will he be able to pull off the double or the triple gold again at the World Championships?
Going into this season, him running that 45, I was like, okay, he's getting ready. He had a challenge to uphold with Tyreek. He backed down from the challenge. The world was shocked. And then, woof, he disappeared for like 3 months. Words on the street was he was a little injured. But then through that time period, he said, you know what? Let me get training. Let me get stronger. Let me get faster. So when we did see him in Monaco, he was ready to run. He went out there and powered through and had a 1988 to win. Now he has a little bit more time to prep and get ready for the 100 meters if he decides to do it. And also he said, I am going to defend my title at national. So I'm going to be running the 200. So all that playing up to now, it is working in Noah's favor to go out there and most likely double and repeat his triple gold. That's why I see it.
I think he comes away with one goal. With Keishane and the Jamaican crew right there, I think they're definitely gearing up and they're going to be watching USA's as we do. But I think with Keishane having a little bit of experience last year, what global success looks like, I think he's now taking it in stride. He'll be ready for this time. Noah is definitely going to have to PB again to beat that young man. I see Keishane being a very dominating figure at Worlds right now. But I could be wrong.
You said he's going to win one gold. Did you mention what gold you think he's going to win?
The one he has the best chance for, I think, is the 200. It's bread and butter. The 100 is going to be very elusive. There's a couple people in there that can knock him off that top podium.
Noah Lyles' greatest rivals in the 100 meters are this young man, Oblique Seville of Jamaica, Keishane Thompson of Jamaica, his fellow American Kenneth Benerick, better known as Kung Fu Kenny, Trayvon Bromell, also of the United States, and Akana Simbini has been dominant through the first part of the 2025 season. Now, if we look at the men's 100 meters fastest time thus far for the 2025 season, Lyles is not even listed in that top 10. Of course, he has been running any 100 meters, so that is not surprising. So those are the men I think he will have to get by. But in the 200 meters, he looked good at the Monaco Diamond League when he took on the Paris Olympic Games gold medalist, beating him by a hair's breadth, but beating him nonetheless, meaning Lestile Tebogo of Botswana. Take a listen. Lyles powered through with sheer will to lay down a season's best of 9.88 seconds ahead of Lestile Tebogo's 9.97 to take the win at the Monaco Diamond League in the men's 200 meters. Here's a look at the race highlight.
The Olympic champion, just as they enter the straight, is on turns with Noah Lyles. These two side by side down the home straight here. Lyles going to the arms. Lyles trying to hold off. Let's see Tebogo, and he does it. What a way to return to the.
Now, in my humble opinion, he'll have to get by Lestile Tebogo to win Kenny Benerick. And given his new PB over the 100 meters of 9.82, I think Brian Lavelle could actually level up to be a competitor. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. So, my Jamaican brothers and sisters, my sports enthusiasts across the globe, can Noah Lyles three-peat again at this year's World Championships? Meaning, can he win the 100 meters, go on to win the double, the 200 meters, and with the USA's 4x100 meters team, win the 4x1? Now, let's break it down. The place where he is least likely to win, where the odds are stacked, piled against him, has to be the men's 100 meters. He's kind of starting the season late. 10 seconds flat is a solid start, but he has 6 weeks in which he has to be running something akin to a 9.75, 9.67, which is pretty much impossible. I don't see how he could do this. Now, I concede that last year I didn't believe he could run below 9.80. He PB'd them on a 9.79. I am of the opinion that Lyles cannot run much faster than that. The very structure of his race, where he starts off very slowly and then builds towards the end, means that he is very limited in how fast he can run. Secondarily, I think the advantage Noah Lyles has had in terms of the men's 100 meters, apart from sheer focus, sheer will, and clearly he works hard to improve, and I have to give him his props for that. But I think a large part of why Noah Lyles has been dominant in the last 2 to 3 years over the sprints is psychological. He does the Muhammad Ali, meaning gets into the heads of his opponents. he clearly can no longer get into the head of Oblique Seville. Oblique Seville did not even look at him at the London Diamond League. At the London Diamond League. He didn't even notice him. He wasn't even there. If you beat a man, trounce him 3 times categorically by over a meter, that man is no longer a consideration. So if Oblique Seville remains healthy, he can't get into Oblique Seville's head ever again, ever. That's over with. 2, I am still going to keep saying that Thompson lost that race because of inexperience and that awful 5-minute hold. And I think it was longer, but they say it's 5 minutes, which threw him off. I think it threw him off terribly. So clearly, that won't happen again. If it does, it will be very suspicious. And Thompson is much more experienced. Thompson has won a silver medal at the Paris Olympic Games. He's very, very confident. We saw that in his race against Akane Simbini when Simbini beat him. He looks supreme. That 9.75, I think he can run much faster. So I really don't see Noah Lyles beating him. So in the men's 100 meters, just between the 2 Jamaicans, not considering anyone else, not even Kenny Benerick, all right, or Akane Simbini, or Trayvon Bromell, I think his chances of winning the men's 100 meters at this point is like 20% out of 100. It's no more than that. I would be absolutely flabbergasted if in the next 6 weeks he can drop his time to a sub 9.80, because that is the only way he's going to win that 100 meters. Now, in the 200 meters, his chances go up tremendously, but they are not, it's not like a couple of years ago where we knew that he was going to win. Tebogo can beat him. There is no question. Him beating Tebogo in his first 200 meters is impressive. But Tebogo, I think, honestly can beat him. And the manner in which Kenny Benerick has been running is absolutely insane. Benerick can beat him. I don't believe Benerick is intimidated by him. And it is very obvious that Tebogo is not intimidated by him. So, in fact, I kind of think Tebogo is sort of playing possum. So, I think, and Brian Lavelle, having run a 9.82, if he can translate that into his 200-meter race, he can be a factor. But I do think that the advantage in this instance, since this is Noah Lyles' baby, is the 200 meters. I think this is his greatest opportunity to win a gold medal at the upcoming World Championships. But I do believe it's nothing more than a 50 to 55% chance. Tebogo and Benerick are deadly. And, if he doesn't execute a perfect race, it's going to be a problem. I kind of think Lyles is going to have to choose between the 100 and the 200 meters at this point. I know he's going to run both. And this entire conversation it tethers on to whether or not he gets by this weekend's national trials at the United States and he's able to rep in both. But let's assume that he does, which is a high probability. I think of the two, between the 1 and the 2, his greater chance of winning is the 200 meters. Now the men's 4x1. The truth is the advantage at this point is clearly the Jamaicans. With a Brian Lavelle running 9.82, with Kishane 9.75, with Oblique 9.83, with Akeem Blake running a 9.88. If all men are able to run close to their best, they don't have to be at their top. And if the baton changes, which is the primary obstacle here, go as planned, the USA won't win. They just don't have the legs. They don't have the speed at this point. They do have a few college students who are running some crazy times, but I really think the advantage will be us, the Jamaicans. Now, I know when I say us, the Jamaicans, you're going to think I'm being very prejudiced. But the truth is, I'm just looking at the numbers, people. The numbers argue, since we now have the top 3 fastest men in the world, if those top 3 men plus Akeem Blake, who is number 7 in the world, are on that 4x1, it's going to be difficult to beat us once we execute the race correctly, because that has been our problem. Race execution and baton passes. So, J3s and all the coach them, want to make sure the man them are practice baton pass. So, in my humble opinion, I think Lyles has a chance of walking away with one of the 3 gold medals. I do not think he's going to win a gold medal in the 100 meters. He may medal, and even that is a may. He may medal though, because he's sheer will. And like I said, I have learned never to underestimate Noah Lyles. But in my humble opinion, in terms of the 4x1, the advantage is Jamaicans. We have at least a 50 to 55% chance of winning the men's 4x1. If the men are healthy, all 4 men I just named are healthy, if they're on the team, and if the baton passes are spot on. They don't even have to be perfect. They just have to be smooth. In the 200 meters, Lyles has at least a 50 to 60% chance of winning the men's 200 meters. I think he's the person to beat, but I think Tebogo should never be underestimated. And I think Tebogo is playing possum. That's my honest opinion. Benerick also looks deadly. And Brian Lavelle, if he's able to translate that 9.82 100 meter run into that 200 meters, he could be a factor. But advantage here is Lyles. The 100 meters, that's up for grabs. I can't even tell if Kishane is going to win, because if Oblique is at his best, Oblique can win. This is a tight one, and I think Lyles' chances of winning the 100 meters is about a 20% to 25% chance, being generous. He has to drop from a 10-second season's best in the next 6 weeks to something akin to a 9.77. And I don't see how he's going to do that. I can't see it. It's not impossible. He's done the impossible before. But if there is no mythical 5-minute hold at the start, and if everybody is healthy, Lyles can no longer beat Kishane and or Oblique Seville. He just can't. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. Jamaicans, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And all my other, compatriots, friends, not friends, persons repping for the United States, let me hear your thoughts. Am I right? Am I wrong? Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to support the channel. Check out our merch store at printify.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. And again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and hit the like button. Remember, you are royals, kings and queens. Bless up.